Okay, the first question is you have a numerator that is slightly smaller than the denominator. So we could actually start here with 2/3 or 3/4 or 4/5 or 5/6. What's the trend here? If we start with 2/3, we've got 0.66666666, 3/4, 0.75, 4/5, 0.8. We're going to get somewhere between 0.67 and 1. So we're going to be anywhere on the number line. If you're past half here, but close to 1, then you've got the right answer for that. So anywhere from about 0.6 up to 1. If your arrow is around there, you get the right answer for that question. And if you can't see the answer directly, make up a few fractions, put them up there, and see what answers you get. Then we had a question where we are adding fractions. And we know that we can only add fractions if we have the same denominator, which in this case we don't. We have 2/3 plus 3/4. So we have to take the 4 that's down here and multiply this fraction by that 4. Why do we do that? Because this changes it into 12ths. And then we take the 3 that's down here and multiply it over here. Why do we do that? Because 3 times 4 gives us 12, and 4 times 3 gives us 12. That gives us the same denominator. So you can always think about multiplying this bottom fraction on that side. Okay, 2 4s are 8, 3 4s are 12. So 2/3 is equivalent to the fraction 8/12. So let's think about that. Here's 2/3. This would be 2/3. Everybody agree? Yeah? This bit here that's shaded. But if I was to split this up in 12ths instead, I now have 8/12ths. It's exactly the same as the fraction 2/3. It's just we've split the piece into 12 pieces instead of just into 3 pieces. Okay? So we've changed 2/3 into 8/12ths. We've done the same thing with 3/4. We've changed it into 9/12ths. Now we're allowed to add the fractions. And what we're adding here is, we're adding how many pieces of 12 do we have? Well, we have 8/12ths here, and we're adding 9/12ths. So we're counting in 12ths. So the denominator stays the same. And then we just think, what is 8 plus 9? 17. Are we allowed to leave it like that? No, because we've got an improper fraction, or sometimes I call them top-heavy fractions. We should always change it to its simplest form. 17 divided by 12 would give us 1 whole and 5 left over. So we have 1 whole and 5/12. And that's how you should present your answer. Not as an improper fraction. Always turn it into mixed form, if you can. Okay? Next one was simple. If you've left it as 17/12, you can have half a point. The next one is a multiplication, which of course is our favourite. 2/7 multiplied by 3/6. There's 2 different ways we could do this, actually. In fact, there's several. We could just do the multiplication as it stands. 2 times 3 is 6. 7 times 6 is 42. 42 is a factor of 6, so we could divide top and bottom here by 6 to give us 1/7. An easier way of doing it is we could say that, okay, let's write it up again. 2 times 3 is 6. So what we've got on the top here is 6 divided by 7 times 6. 6 cancels with 6, giving you the answer 1/7. This way I haven't had to multiply through at all. I've just kept it as 6 divided by 6 is 1. So it gives me the answer 1/7. That's possible. Another possibility is keeping it like this. You could say divide top and bottom here by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 divided by 3 we know is 1. So we get, again, 1/7 times 1, giving us 1/7. And you can use whichever way you find easiest. But there are 3 different ways of doing exactly the same thing. I think this one is the simplest, most time-effective one. It means you don't have to first multiply to then have to divide. You sort of get everything done in one go. Then we had a subtraction. And we had 1 1/3 minus 3/4. Well, if we just think in terms of fraction, here we've got 1/3, which is just that part of the circle. And here we've got 3/4, which is that part of the circle. We can't take 3/4 away from 1/3, because 1/3 is too small to take 3/4 away from. So let's change this one to an improper fraction. 1 1/3 is the same as 3/3 plus 1/3. That's what 1 is the same as 3/3 plus 1/3. So this is the same as the improper fraction 4/3. 4/3 minus 3/4. Now we can do it because we've got a whole one here. 1 plus 1/3 minus 3/4. Now we've got more here than we have here. We can easily do the subtraction. So convert it to 4/3 minus 3/4. Then we don't have the same denominator. So multiply this side by 4, top and bottom. This side by 3, top and bottom. To turn it into equivalent fractions. Here we get 16/12. Minus 3 3s are 9. 4 3s are 12. So we get 16/12 minus 9/12. It's going to give us an answer in 12ths because we're taking 16/9 and we're taking away 9 of them. And we're going to get the answer 16 minus 9 is 7. And we leave it like that. You can't simplify it any more than that. 7's a prime number. So we get the answer 7/12 there. So now we've done an addition, a subtraction, and a multiplication. There's only one more that we haven't done, and that's a division. So we have here 3/4 divided by 3/8. And the rule for dividing fractions is we take the 3/4 and keep it where it is. We change the divide sign for a multiply and swap these two around, top and bottom. So we then get 8/3. Look what happens here. 3 divided by 3 gives me 1. 4 goes twice into 8, so 4's into 8 go 2. So we get the answer 2. We could have done it by 3 times 8 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12. 24 divided by 12 is 2. Whichever way you do it, you get the same answer. But this method of cancelling can save you a bit of time. It means you first don't have to multiply to then have to go back and divide. So that was our division with fractions. And then we have 3 litres of juice. And we're going to fill it into glasses, where each of our glasses have 2/9 of a litre. And I've done it so it's a little bit tricky. I want you to keep it in fraction terms. Okay? I don't want you to change it to decimals. I want you to keep it in fraction terms. So what are we doing if we want to know how many glasses? We have to think that we've got 3 litres, which in fraction terms can be written as 3/1. And we're dividing it, we're trying to find out how many glasses there is going to go. So we'd be dividing it by 2/9. Okay, so now we've got our 3 litres and we're splitting it up into 2/9 of glasses and we're seeing how much is left over. So let's do that. We know how to divide with fractions. We have 3/1 multiplied by 9/2, which gives us 3 9s are 27. 27 divided by 2, which is going to go 13 times, and there's going to be a half left over. So the question was, how many full glasses would we get? 13. How much would be left over? Half a glass. Or, that half a glass, how much would there be in half a glass? 1/9 of a deciliter, because a whole glass is 2/9 of a deciliter. So what we would get is 13 whole glasses at 2/9 and 1/9 of a deciliter left over. Let's check that we've done that right. What is 13 lots of 2/9? That would be 26 over 9, plus the one that's left over, the 1/9 left over. So we get 27 over 9 if we added all of these glasses together. 1/9 of a deciliter plus the 13 at 2/9 of a deciliter. 9 divided by 27 is 3 litres. So there's our check as well that we haven't done anything wrong. Okay?